Hi, future pilots. Welcome on day 3 of the 7 days to ATPL Productivity, our daily series on mastering the art of productive studying for your ATPL exams. Every day, I am sharing tips and tricks on how to make your study as short and as enjoyable as possible. I'm Sultan from CaptainSultan.com, and like many of you, I've been exactly where you are now. Excited, a bit overwhelmed, and ready to take on the challenge of becoming a professional pilot. I've made many mistakes along the way, and my goal is to make sure that you avoid making the same mistakes as I did. So let's take off. So today we're going to explore some powerful study techniques that can turbocharge your ATPL exam preparation. And these are not just some strategies. They're really methods that I've experimented with and that I found very effective. And I've made my share of mistakes, as I said, like spending hours copying entire chapters or highlighting material without really understanding the content. It felt like I was doing a lot, but was I learning effectively? Not really. That's why I want to share techniques that truly work. The first one is the active learning technique. Active learning involves engaging directly with the material and turning passive reading into an interactive process. And so what it means is that you need to summarize the key points into your own words, and you need to teach the material to someone else or create mind maps. And what it does is that it leads to deeper understanding and long-term retention, which is crucial for complex subjects in ATPL exams. So you take a concept, you study it, you try to understand it, and then you try to explain it to someone else. Or you can imagine that you explain it to someone else in your own words. If you're able to do it, the information will go to a level deeper into your brain and you will be able to remember it correctly. The second technique is called spaced repetition. The psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus studied in the 19th century how memory works. And what he has seen is that whenever we study something, we'll only retain 10% of the information 60 days after we studied it. And that trend is not linear. We lose a lot of information within the first hours and the first days. And so the trick is to space repetition, to make sure that you study at regular intervals. So let's imagine you have your study schema and you studied on Monday general navigation. It would be advisable to revisit some of that material on Tuesday and maybe on Thursday. And you don't need to spend a lot of time. If you studied 1 hour general navigation on the Monday, just take 10 minutes on the Tuesday to just maybe take a piece of paper and try to explain it to yourself, or to make sure that, did I remember it correctly? And if not, pick up the book again and check the material. It will improve your memory and recall, and it will really help to master a large volume of information, as we have in the ATPL. The third technique is practice testing. What it means is that you need to self-test or take practice exams to assess your knowledge. We are fortunate in the ATPL exam to have a large variety of question banks available, and which we'll talk to into a different video. But that practice testing is really important. It is rooted in the testing effect, which is a psychological phenomenon where you retrieve information which improves your memory retention. So by remembering where you stored that piece of information, it makes it actually retaining the information better. Use the ATPL practice tests regularly. For example, after studying a topic, just use the question bank and test yourself on. So those were the 3 key techniques that I used and that I discovered way too late into my studying time. Incorporating these methods transformed my study sessions. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, I started seeing real progress in my understanding and retention of the material. And that's what we're aiming for. Not just studying more, but studying smarter. Now, think about your study habits. Are you actively engaging with the material, or are you just skimming through? Are you testing yourself regularly? And are you getting back regularly to see the material you studied a couple of days before? Remember that adapting those techniques to your personal learning style can make a huge difference in your exam performance. So that's it for today. In our next video, we'll dive into how to use the question banks effectively. It's a crucial tool in your ATPL study arsenal. Until then, keep experimenting with these techniques and find what works best for you. Your journey to the cockpit is well on the way. See you there.